Hi everyone, it's Rhianna again, second year SRNA, and today I'm making my most requested video, which is how I got into CRNA school, what were my stats, ICU experience, grades like, GRE score, and I'm going to cover all that today. I'm going to start from nursing school and tell you about everything up until I got accepted. So first of all, I obtained my associate's degree in nursing from a 2-year community college, and I'm really glad I did it that way because I saved a lot of money. My GPA in that program was less than stellar. I actually graduated with a 3.043, which is hard for me to say, but my nursing GPA was good. The reason my GPA was so low is because I started taking classes when I was 18. I didn't go to nursing school till I was 21. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 18. I took a bunch of random classes. I wasn't serious about it, and I ended up getting 2 Fs, 1 D, and 2 Cs in that beginning time, and those were all included on my final cumulative GPA, so it reflected very poorly upon me. Going back, obviously I would have done things differently, but I was young and I wasn't serious, and yeah, that's what happened there. So moving on, I got a job in the ICU, the surgical trauma burn ICU at UVA, University of Virginia, which is a level 1 trauma center. It was amazing. I loved that job so much. It's hard to get hired into the ICU as a new grad, so what I did was get a job as a tech or nurse assistant first while I was in nursing school and kind of get my foot in the door there, get to know people, got to know the manager of the unit, and ended up getting some great recommendations, which really helped me get in right away out of school. I started my bachelor's at James Madison University as soon as I started that job in the surgical trauma burn ICU. So I started that job in August 2014. I graduated my ADN in May 2014, and I started my BSN in August 2014 as well. So I worked there for 1 year, got my ACLS and PALS while I was working there, and then in August 2015, I graduated my bachelor's degree program, and I had a 3.909. I only got 1 B in that entire program. I worked really hard to show future schools I was going to apply to that I was serious about my education, and that my associate's degree GPA didn't reflect upon my dedication as a student. So, I graduated my BSN, and I started travel nursing at that time too. I started travel nursing when I had 1 year of ICU experience. While travel nursing, I made sure I went to level 1 trauma centers and worked in big ICUs. I thought that was extremely important for CRNA school, so that was one of my requirements when I was accepting assignments. My first assignment was at USC in LA, and I was ICU float, which I think was great experience. I did several more assignments after that. I actually did travel nursing for a while before I started CRNA school, and I made sure to work in surgical ICUs or open heart recovery ICUs or cardiac ICUs, because those are the experiences that most schools are looking for. So once I started travel nursing, I started studying for my CCRN, and I went ahead and took my CCRN in April 2016. I took my GRE shortly after in June 2016. On my GRE, I scored in the verbal portion a 158. In the quantitative portion, I scored a 150. And in the writing section, I scored a 4 out of 6. So all those scores are okay. The verbal was high, the writing was okay, and the quantitative could have been better. Honestly, I only studied for a few weeks before I took the GRE. I could have studied more, and I decided if I didn't get into a program, I was going to study more to up those scores, but I kind of just wanted to take it and see where I was at. So after I took those, I applied to CRNA school. I applied to 3 CRNA schools, and I only got into 1, and I got into my top choice, which is the school I'm going to now, but I got 2 letters of rejection before I got into that 1 school, and they both had to do with my associate's degree GPA. They recommended that I take science courses to prove how I've changed academically since then, and I was going to go ahead and do that if I didn't get into the 3rd school I had applied to. So I got accepted in November 2016 to the school that I'm going to now. I started in May 2017, and up until May 2017 I kept traveling and kept working in ICUs, and it was great. I saved a lot of money and went ahead to school. So that was my journey to CRNA school. A lot of people ask about additional science requirements. I actually selected programs based upon their prerequisites. The school I'm in now actually includes a physics course based on anesthesia and a chemistry course, biochemistry course that's also focused on anesthesia. They don't require you to take physics or chemistry on a graduate level before applying, because they incorporate that into their program, and that was something that was very important to me, because when I was travel nursing and had already done so many years of school, I didn't want to take additional science classes that weren't relevant to anesthesia specifically. I'm really glad I did that. I had a great experience in physics and chemistry in my program. The way they focused on anesthesia is extremely helpful for boards, rather than me have just taken it by myself in a general matter. So that was my journey. I hope you find that helpful. My biggest recommendation is to get great ICU experience, get your CCRN, get your GRE, start working on things when you graduate your nursing program. If you want to go to school right away. I know not everybody does, but if you do, I would start working on that right away. You can take the CCRN after you've been working for approximately a year. I waited a little bit longer just because I was studying for it, but you could take it as soon as 1 year, as long as you have all the hours that are required. The GRE, I don't even know what to say about the GRE. It is the worst test ever. Unless you're just very strong at math and just remembering things from a long time ago, maybe you'll do great at it. But to me, it was math that I had learned in middle school. On that test, geometry, algebra, all that stuff that I hadn't done in so long, I had to relearn it, and it was just difficult to focus because it wasn't super interesting to me. I think the biggest problem was boredom while studying. Another thing that I find really important is getting involved in activities on your unit or units you work on, like committees. It's like CAUTI prevention, CLABSI prevention, all that kind of stuff is important, and CRNA schools really like that. If you can get involved in research projects on your unit when you're advancing to clinician 2, clinician 3, things like that, they're very important. Honestly, I wasn't involved in a lot of those things because I was travel nursing, but I made sure to educate myself on current literature and things of that nature. So I included that in my essay to explain how travel nursing had made me a stronger practitioner, how it had helped me with my autonomy and adjusting to new situations, and also how I just learned so much about how things can be done several different ways. All of them work, and none of them have to be 100% the right way to do it. You need to be flexible. That's very important in anesthesia as well, so I think my essay helped explain that. I also explained in my essay how I progressed academically from that 3.043. When I started nursing school, you can easily see on my transcripts that I started getting A's and B's. When I started learning how to study better, I started getting more A's. And now in my CRNA program, I'm almost halfway done, and I still have a 4.0 because I've been studying very much and trying very hard to excel academically. So it's obvious that that 3.043 was not a reflection of my potential academically. It was more a reflection of my dedication at that time. All right, so I hope that I answered all your questions about my journey to CRNA school. If you guys have any more, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you and help you on your journey. I'm gonna make a separate video talking about the fastest way to become a CRNA from high school to CRNA school, because a lot of people have been messaging me, asking me about that as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative and helpful. If you did, please like it and subscribe, and stay tuned for my future videos, which come out every single Sunday, and follow me on my journey in CRNA school. Thank you guys again for all your comments and questions, and I'll see you soon.